Hello there everyone, this is Brother Birch. In this video, I will be introducing your week 4 Prove assignment weather forecast. Okay, my advice for this is the same as my advice every week. If you do your team activity, then this will be significantly easier, okay? In your team activity, you had to read from an API, very similar to what you're gonna have to do for this assignment. So prove that you can write a Python program that calls third-party functions. All right, and then let's see. Write a Python program to do the following. Allow a user to select a city from a list of cities, retrieve forecasts for the next 7 days and nights from the US National Weather Service, and then write the forecast to an HTML file that a user can view in a browser. Okay. Um, so in lesson 3, you wrote part of this program that writes a weather forecast to an HTML file. Okay. And for this one, here's what you're going to have to do. You're going to add the following to it. So open your program from the proof assignment from the previous lesson and add the following to it. A dictionary with at least 5 US cities and their corresponding latitude and longitude. Python code that allows a user to choose one of these cities in the dictionary, and then Python code that uses the request module to retrieve the weather forecast for the city that the user chose. Okay, so hopefully you have everything that you need to get started on this. All right, you've read from several remote APIs. We've worked on dictionaries. You have this code to start with from your last proof assignment from week 3, and now you're just going to create a dictionary, allow the user to choose a city from that dictionary, and then uses that to request the weather forecast for that city that the user chose. Okay. Keep the code that you wrote during the previous lesson to generate the HTML report. You should connect the code from step 3 above with the code that you wrote during the previous lesson to generate an HTML report. So if you wanted to, you could, let me pull up my file structure here. Hang on. So if I go back to my week 3 assignment, here it is. You notice that I imported this weather HTML, and here's this weather HTML.py. So probably the easiest way to work on your week 4 prove would be to just copy and paste this weather HTML.py file into here. Okay, and then you can have it in this directory. Now that has some pros and cons with it. So if you wanted to reference this weather HTML.py file from here, you just have to import sys. Okay, and then you can say sys.path.insert, and then basically you can use relative paths or a direct path here. So if you want to look into how to do that, you can Google how to use this sys module. Otherwise, it's totally fine for now if you just want to copy this file and then paste it into your week 4, so that when you have code like this, hey, I'm going to import weather HTML, then you can actually use that. Okay. With that said, you might also want to use some of this other stuff from there as well, but just following the instructions in here. So with that said, I hope that this is enough to help you get started on this proof assignment. If you have any questions while you're working on it, just let me know.